Hi, everyone. What I love now is that we're able to focus on monitoring traffic and have the web pages do the same thing. And this is something we could never do. I, again, want to show you an example of what happens when you just create a site and put it out there and you think it works and you don't check it very often. And you're just waiting and watching for traffic, right? So if you set and forget and never study it at all, and never have it study itself, which websites don't do except for ours, I don't know of anyone else's that study their own statistics. Literally scroll activity and click activity on a page by page basis and track it to the IP addresses, the locations, even the people. And then not only that, but the web pages can say, hey, I see what people keep doing and they're not doing enough down here. So I'm going to change things around to see if I can get them further down and to interact more, right? Our web pages think in a way. They process logical decisions, which has to do with tracking what users do and then studying and saying, we should make this change here. And the web pages do that. This is great because if you pay humans to do it, it's expensive. But if you can get your web pages to do it, that's gold. Your web pages actually improve your ROI automatically without you having to do anything. Okay, except just oversee it. So take a look at this. If I'm not watching, I don't know whether people are having a good experience or not. And we need people to check out these tools to understand the values of them, right? This right here, this is GPT-4, actually. So you can use what happens here to really organize well what you're doing with the other two tools that are here, okay? So this stuff is valuable. Being able to use these things has everything to do with why you would say, that's it. I'm getting a website from you guys, or I'm getting a stack of websites from you guys. Now, having said that, let me point this out. Okay, when you're looking at tracking statistics, this is what most people see. Some guy from Seattle, and it happens to be me, from Comcast Cable, okay, at this IP, this their first time here. They are on Windows 11, on Chrome 111. You know, this is the resolution of their monitor screen, right? On April 10th at this time, 11:13 at night, okay, in whatever time zone you set the system for. They landed on this page, and from here, they went to this page, okay? And then how long were they on that page? I know if I was on that page, I'd be on that page about 3 minutes. They were on that page about, 5 seconds. So they didn't learn anything from this page, really. They may have seen it before, except no, this is their first session. So when they landed there, it wasn't answering what they were looking for. Maybe they'll come back later, but no, they're not coming back later, okay? But I do know they went from 5 seconds after they landed here, they went here, okay? So if that's their first session and they went from here to here to here, they're not going to buy anything. There's nothing in this flow that explains why they would have excited themselves enough or interested themselves enough or convinced themselves enough to buy. Unless what? Unless they've already been around on some other device and they just came back and they thought that was the right button and they were wrong and then that's the right button. And then the only question is, how do we track sales? And we track sales where we do. Do we feed the information back into here? No, we don't, because this winds up being too public. Okay? But having said that, there are too many people. We don't want to expose that much coding that have to do with the payment platforms. I got hacked once on a payment platform through an old API key on one of the directories from years ago. And we were really surprised. So there are just certain things we don't like to really expose in the coding. Having said all that, let me get back to this. So how do we see it now? Here's how we see it now. I watched somebody who came to the webpage. I can watch all of them, everyone who came to the webpage, and I can say, all right, show me what you did. Okay, you typed cryptocurrency mining. And you misspelled it. You want mining, you probably didn't notice, but the system should catch it. Oh, wait, you hit processing, but you didn't fill it. Wait a minute. Do you see the first thing I caught wrong? Okay. What did I catch wrong? They were supposed to put in keywords. See, keywords is a required field. Backstory is optional, but keywords are required. They didn't put a keyword. They put 14 for the subtitles, and it let them through. That's my mistake. So first thing I learned, they should have put keywords. Without it, some of this stuff just gets too carried away. It doesn't stick to where they need to go. So now they're just going, and you know what they're probably going to find out? And also they can't copy the story down because it was optional and they never had a backstory there. I should make the backstory a required field, and I should make sure to require the keywords field the right way. Right? So see that? Please try to make the text sound as conversational as possible, right? That's our backstory? No. Okay, so I have a little bit of work to do to make sure that they do this better, right? So if I were to go now, I would go into the coding of the page and I would find the section for that. That's the section here, keywords, where we put in red required, right? So like if I look at that page, it says keywords required. That's the piece I'm staring at, right? And this is supposed to be required. It's not required because the word says so, really. It's required because I have the word required right here at the end of this field. Okay, so I'm going to save that change, right? Now, the next time somebody goes to put that in there, they're going to have to use keywords, okay? Here's the other thing I don't like. In the beginning, I said at this stage, just enter one keyword like licensed, right? And that's what it says. It says, at this stage, just enter one keyword like licensed. But why? I mean, there's value in adding more than one keyword, okay? So I think I was just thinking out loud while I was working on the page. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to copy it down, and I'm going to go ahead and comment that second line out, okay? It's not what you would normally do yourself unless you know how to do this, okay? Normally would have us do the work for you because that's what you're paying us to do is the coding changes and all this stuff. Now, you wouldn't normally do it in here. You would do changes that have to do with what you would log into in the admin panel if you're doing it on your own websites, right? But you would let us know if you saw issues like that, like, hey, that's supposed to be a required field. You can't fix that, but we can. You would let us know to fix it. Anyway, here's what I'm going to do now. Instead of it saying, at this stage, just enter one keyword like license, I've got to make the explanation or multiple keywords like colon, Acme Industries, comma, licensed, comma, call us now, comma, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Call us there. Okay. Now let's see. Does that make it better? Yes. Enter one keyword like that or multiple keywords like that. Now what I could do is underline or to make it kind of clear that I've got a separator here, right? What? There. Enter one keyword like that or multiple keywords like that, right? And even if you copy it and paste it in here, it does the job just fine. Immediately, right? And if you think, wow, okay, what about the next line? Then you go, oh, I lost the whole phone number. It's like, okay, let me just copy the phone number and put it back, right? There we go. Okay, fine. And then you continue. And guess what? That works, right? That works. Now, still, I don't know if I want to make the backstory a required field, so I'll leave it alone for now. But this is what I mean by fixing things based on watching people interact with the page. I can see what I did wrong, okay? This isn't about training people to buy. Nobody can do that. You can't make people buy anything. All you can do is get the obstacles out of their way. Pave the path and show it to them and see if they feel like walking down it still. Some of them will. Some will want to go some other way. Some will want to go off the path, and if you say, I'm sorry, you can't go off the path, then away they go. But if you say, actually, there's an alternate path you can take around the lake or whatever, then you're opening a second door, and the guys who would have gone have a second path to consider. Some of them are going to say yes, right? So the reason that we do this tracking is so we can see what we were doing wrong. None of that is visible on a page like this. You can tell somebody came and he was gone. 5 seconds, he went to the next page. But if I said, he was only there 5 seconds, he should have been there 3 minutes. Fix it. You would say, what do I fix? Say, I don't know. He was only there 5 seconds. What do you think should be fixed? And you can go look at the page and say, I don't have any idea. And you know what? That's what I did. When I looked here, If somebody told me that guy would have done something that wasn't quite right, I should fix it, but that's all I knew, I would have no idea what I'm supposed to fix. But if I watch them work, I can see what I can fix. And I don't fix it for one guy. I fix it for the hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of guys that follow that guy into the future, right? That's the point. There aren't that many fixes you need to make on any given page. Some pages will need no fixes. Some pages will need one. Some pages will need two. Some pages will need three. But if you go and watch people, then you can make these changes happen, these fixes, okay? Because this is the kind of thing the websites can't adjust on their own. They don't realize that that's happening. We don't have any rules built in that says if somebody skips a required field, hits next, and it processes anyway, fix the required field. We don't have anything like that happening in the coding. Could we? We could. It's if we find that this happens more often than once, we will. We have to build coding for it, but we can do that. But what we want is to make sure that basic things are not a problem. And then once the page is performing generally correctly, people aren't making mistakes, we can turn it over to the web pages, set the goals on the web pages, and then step back and let the web pages figure out what to do with the people from there to pave the way, right? That's how you do it. That's the way it should be done. Okay, just wanted to show you that so that you could understand that this is the kind of thing that we care about a lot. Your competitors, our competitors, don't usually do anything like that, okay? If you go buy a template, set it up, and start running it, they'll tell you to track your traffic, and all you do is this. And you're like, what am I supposed to learn? And they'll go, well, see how many are coming on a phone. And then you go, well, what about this case? Like they didn't stay on the page long enough. They'll go, oh, take that page there, create versions of it, portfolio-v1.php, portfolio-v2, v3, split test. See what works better. See if you can figure out why. Then mix and match again and split test some more. And that's it. That's all they have to say. That takes time and money. A lot of time and a lot of money. And the results are almost arbitrary. It's forever before you figure out what it means. So yeah, no, that sucks. We would rather do it the way we do. We just study how people act on the pages. We literally watch what they do on the pages. And then when we're done, we hand the control over to the website so that the websites can take care of it from there and keep monitoring and improving themselves to improve the ROI. Okay? There's the point. That's how you make things happen. All right.